In this Ellerton Associates Technology Training Tip of the Month, we'll look at creating an automatic table of contents in Word 2010 or 2013. Okay, I have a Word document open. I'm using Word 2013, by the way, but this will work equally well in Word 2010. This is a 17-page document, and so it would be nice to have a table of contents. What I don't want to have to do, though, is type that table of contents manually, and then anytime there's a change to the document, I have to go back and change whatever affects the table, either the page numbering or the wording on the things I put in the table. It'd be nice if Word would do all of this automatically for me. Anytime the document changes, also update the table automatically. And I can do that. What I'm going to want to do, though, is format the document using heading styles, at least for the headings. The body text can be whatever I want, but I need the headings, the things that will be reflected in the table of contents, to use the heading styles. There are actually 9 of them, and you see 2 of them in my styles gallery on the home tab. I've got heading 1 and heading 2. Again, there are 9. If I click the more button, 3 and additionals may show. It just depends on what you've done with styles in the document. You can also click the arrow in the corner of the styles group to display the styles pane and set this up to show additional heading styles. But the point is using the built-in ones. So I have to use the built-in heading 1, heading 2, etc. And those heading styles are included in any document you create in Word. They can be made to look different in every single document. So one of the objections to using heading styles, and by the way, the table of contents is just one thing that heading styles automate out of many. There's a lot of magic to the heading styles. I'm only showing you table of contents today. But I'm going to go ahead and click Executive Summary, which is a main level heading. Basically, it's like a chapter in this document. So I'm going to click Heading 1. And it applies the Heading 1 style. Now, that may not be what I want my Heading 1s to look like, my main level headings. We'll come back to that in just a moment, but let me go ahead and apply Heading 2s as well. So these will be my second level headings within Executive Summary. So I've got description of the company, I'll click Heading 2. I've got mission statement, I'll click Heading 2. Products and services is a Heading 2. Now guess what? The rest of the pages I've already done this, so note there's some Heading 2s. Here's history and position to date, which is another Heading 1, another one of those chapter names. The rest of the 17 pages, I've already got them applied, so you don't have to watch me do that for the next 5 minutes. But again, the objection about the way they look is easily overcome. I'll just show you how to change that. Let's say I want to change the way Heading 1 looks. I'm going to go ahead and select something to which I've applied Heading 1 and just make the changes I want. So instead of Century Gothic, how about Cambria as the font? Let's make it bigger, 18 points. Let's make it a different color. Let's make it this blue color instead of the green. And that's good enough. So there's how it looks now. I'm going to select it again and come over to Heading 1 in the Styles Gallery. I'm going to right-click and choose Update Heading 1 to match selection. Now it does. You can see it here, but look, if I scroll down to where that other Heading 1 was, see history and position to date, and so on, marketing research or market research, see, they match now. So the whole document's done. Anytime I use the Heading 1 throughout the document, if I change it and update it, they're all updated. Same thing could be done with Heading 2. Just one brief example here. I'll select and change the color of Heading 2. Maybe I want to use that green on the Heading 2s. So now I'll come and right-click Heading 2, update it to match the selection, and look at that. All Heading 2s are now green. So no reason not to use the heading styles. You can make them look the way you want. By the way, the changes I made only affect the heading styles in this document. Again, if I open up a different one or a brand new document, the heading styles will look whatever they look like for that document or the defaults, but I can change it. So now I've done what I need to do to get an automatic table of contents. I have used heading styles for each of the headings in the document. I'm going to go up to the references. Now, by the way, I'm clicked at the beginning of the document, assuming you'd probably want to put the table of contents at the very beginning. You can put it wherever you want, but I'm clicked at the beginning. That's where it's going to go. I'm going to go to References, Table of Contents, and there are 2 automatic tables, 1 and 2. Only difference is the title. See, this one's Contents, this one's Table of Contents. I like Table of Contents. I'm going to click it. So check it out. It didn't put a page break between the end of the table and my beginning of my document. I'll take care of that, but I want you to see what the table looks like. Now notice it's 2.5 pages because it's including all of the Heading 1 and Heading 2 headings in the table. So there's the Executive Summary Heading 1, and then here's all the Heading 2s within it and their page numbers, which is the main point of the table. History and position to date is a Heading 1 and then the Heading 2s. Now, by the way, the table of contents by default will include up through Heading 3. I just didn't have any Heading 3s. And you know what? This is pretty big table of contents for a 17-page document anyway. So what if I want to change it to show fewer, just maybe level 1 instead of heading 1 and 2? I can do that. And if you have a really big document where you used heading 4, heading 5, and you want those reflected in the table, you can also update it to show additional heading styles, but it'll be 3 by default. So I'm going to click in my table of contents. I like it, but I don't like how big it is. I'm going to go up to table of contents and choose custom table of contents. And there's quite a few things you can do in here. All I'm concerned about for this video is showing the correct number of levels. I'm going to reduce that to 1. I only want to see heading 1 reflected. I click OK. Asks me, do I want to do this update? I say yes or OK. And there it is. So that's nice. That's a decent sized table of contents for this document. Now, the part where it updates automatically, I can show you that right away because look, executive summary is on page 1 and I don't want it to be here with the table. So I'm going to click before the E. I'll put in a manual page break, which by the way is Control Enter on the keyboard. So now executive summary starts on page 2. Now I come back up. It doesn't update automatically, but a nice way to update is to right click the table anywhere in it and choose Update Field. It says, do I want to update only the page numbers or the entire table? The entire table would include any additional headings or changes to the existing headings, and that's what I generally choose, so I'll click OK. Now note the only change here is that the 2, it changed to a 2. Now check out this history and position to date. And by the way, notice how it keeps telling me I can control click to go to that point in the document. That's a benefit of a table of contents too, is that in the electronic copy within Word, they're hyperlinks. So here I'll do that. I'll hold down my control key and click history and position to date, and it leaps right to it. Obviously, the printed version's not going to have that benefit. But how about we want to change this to history of the company? So I'll just type that in, and there we go. And now I'll go ahead and go back up to the table, and I want to update to reflect that. I right-click, I choose Update Field. This time I definitely need Update Entire Table. There you go. So anytime you make a change to the text, to the pagination, add or delete headings throughout the document, you just right-click and update your table, and it's completely automatic. Thank you for watching this Ellert & Associates Technology Training Tip of the Month. To learn more about our classes, please visit us at www.ellertraining.com.